Hi guys, it's Meg. Welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for watching. So I'm really excited for today's video because running is one of my go-to exercises. It's pretty much my main source of exercise. So I'm excited to share with you 5 tips and things that have helped me kind of get back in the swing of running and things that I still, just do today even if I'm kind of having a hard day and not really feel like working out. So before we get started, I just would like to say that you guys know, if you've seen any of my other videos, I'm not a dietitian, a trainer, a nutritionist, anything like that. So these are just my opinions, things that have helped me kind of, lose my weight and help to keep it off now for about a year. So the first tip that I have is to find a pair of shoes that actually fit and are comfortable. So I went to a shoe store and I was at this point preparing to run my first half marathon, and I was like, I need a shoe for running. It can't be if it's not cute and it's not the nicest shoe I've ever seen, then I'm just gonna have to get over it because I need something for comfort. And so I went to, I think it was Lady Foot Locker, and I asked the sales associate, super helpful. They told me to try Brooks, and I was like, hold up, what? No, these shoes are heinous. I'm not wearing them. And then I tried them on and they were so comfortable. So I've talked about these shoes before, so I'm going to show you what shoes I run in. This is probably my second pair of these. So these are the shoes. You guys can tell. I mean, I definitely wear them and I'm probably due for a new pair because the tread's kind of getting low on them. But they're not cute. They've grown on me, but this camel toe part right here was I just thought it was the strangest thing I've ever seen. But when you put your foot in the shoe, there's no separation. It's just a normal shoe on the inside, so I don't know what that is all about, but I actually like them in the lime green. They're fun. But these shoes work really great. They're very lightweight, but they still have enough cushion for me. I like a shoe that has cushion to kind of absorb the extra shock on my knees. So kind of along the lines of finding a pair of comfortable shoes that are good for you and your body type and your running style, I also would recommend just reevaluating what you're running in, clothes-wise, something that is going to make you feel comfortable. I know that when I run outside around my neighborhood and wherever I am, if I'm on vacation or at my parents' house. So I don't want to feel self-conscious. For some reason, I feel when I'm running, I feel self-conscious and people are staring at me even though there could be nobody outside. So I just like to be in something that's really comfortable and that fits well. So for me, it's mostly cropped capris. I like these because these are from Target. These are one of my favorite pairs. I love the Target ones because they come up higher and they go over my belly button, and my sisters think I'm the dorkiest thing ever. But I just can't run if things are jiggling around. That is just makes me want to crawl out of my skin. I hate it and I just can't even concentrate on working out. So a pair of pants that fit well and that are comfortable. When I first started running again, you guys, it was hot where we were. It was 90 degrees and I was still wearing crops because I just did not feel comfortable running in shorts. And I was sweating anyway, so I really love crops, and I just feel if you're getting started, get something that's comfortable. For me, this is comfortable because it prevents things riding up and your legs squishing together and just all that annoying stuff. So even now I still prefer to run in crops. So, and then just any track jacket or loose fitting t-shirt, usually that's what I run in, or a flowy tank top. So those are my favorite things to run in. The second tip I have is, before you get started running, is to get a playlist if you're someone who enjoys listening to music while you work out. For me, I pretty much always listen to music, and it kind of helps me keep my pace up and just kind of is fun to listen to depending on how long you're running or walking. So I either listen to Pandora, Danity Kane, or hip hop power radio or anything like that. But I also have a specific playlist on my iTunes, and I link the songs down below that I have, or kind of just make a list of them on my blog. I'll link that down below. But I have a variety of songs that I like to listen to, and if someone saw my playlist, I feel it's the oddest playlist, because I'll have Ludacris, Get Back, or that type of music, and then I will also have Jesse James Decker, Boys in the Summer. So, and Faded is on my playlist right now. What else do I have? The new Iggy Azalea song. Pretty much anything that's upbeat and has a really good tempo. yeah, anything like that. So I will list my current playlist on my blog along with like pictures of all this stuff in case you guys are interested in any of it. So definitely get a music playlist together that is, you know, motivating for you. That might be country music, jazz, tap, I don't know, whatever you guys are into, make a playlist, and that really just a pair of headphones. So I've also talked about these. I always run in these Beats Solo HDs. These are about a year and a half old. I still love them. They don't fall off my head. I can wear them over a head wrap, a hat, just with my hair in a ponytail. I really love these headphones, and they've definitely are worth the investment. Okay, so my third tip is to just start walking. Now, if you've never run before, honestly, just getting up and getting out of the door is like the most important part. So if you think you cannot run, or you're in the process of losing weight, or you've never run before, you've never played sports or anything like that, the first step to running, in my opinion, is literally just like walking. So when I first started running again, I could not just get up and run. I was 100 pounds heavier when I started running, so I just couldn't do it. Like, I was overweight, I was out of shape, and so running was just out of the question right off the bat. So I had to work my way up to that. So I want to say it probably took me about like a month and a half of just walking, and then starting to jog a little bit, and then walking again. So a good way for me that I started to do this was to walk for like a song on your playlist, and then maybe jog for a song. So walk, jog, and then, you know, just do as much as you can. If you can only run or jog for 10 seconds, that's fine. Run as far as you can, and then, you know, go back to walking. When you feel like your heart rate's come down a little bit and you can catch your breath again, then start jogging again. So you really just have to kind of go at your own pace, and don't force yourself to do something that's going to injure yourself and make you never want to run again or work out. So definitely take it slow if you are just starting out, and there's nothing wrong with that, you guys. Just getting up and getting out of the door is the most important thing, and you should be proud of yourself no matter what. If you have the intention of going out and running, but maybe you only walk for 20 minutes, that's amazing. That's so good. You should be so proud of yourself, and just make sure that you do it on a consistent basis, and eventually you will start to run. So once you start getting up and going and gradually easing yourself back into it, then I would say number 4 is to set goals for yourself. So whether that's a time, whether that's distance, or whether that's like a specific race or something that you're training for. So when I first started, I started with time. I just wanted to go out and be active for 20 minutes, whether that's running or walking. 20 minutes was a good place for me to start, and I could definitely walk 20 minutes. I mean, it's not like I was immobile when I first started working out, but I definitely could not run for a solid 20 minutes. So I just walked and ran as much as I could, you know, during the 20 minutes, and then every time after that, I would try and run a little bit more. You know, you have to just kind of push yourself through it, even though, you know, you think you can't. Just know that you can, and just if you really are feeling out of breath or tired, then just take a step back and walk. It's not a big deal. Then after I kind of was able to run for 20 minutes, that was probably maybe a mile and a half I was running in 20 minutes. Then I started to set, you know, more distance goals for myself. So I want to run 2 miles today, or I wanted to run 3 miles, you know what I mean? So keep changing your goals, and it will help you improve as, you know, the more you do it. So definitely give yourself enough time, give yourself the motivation, and give yourself just a positive outlook, and you guys will be fine. So then the third thing that I did last year was I ran a half marathon for the first time, and it was probably one of the most challenging things I've done because I had to train a lot with my daughter in the stroller, so that adds a lot of extra weight, which is great because it helped me tone up and lose weight, you know, really well. But I just followed a workout plan that I designed for myself, and I used asics.com. They had a really great plan with tips and, you know, times that you should try and go for. So once you are able to run, I would say like 2 to 3 miles without, you know, really having to stop too many times, I would say, you know, maybe start looking for a race to do, whether it's a 5K or a 10K, you know, just to challenge yourself and see if you can do it. And when I ran the half marathon, I was running probably 10 to 11 minute miles. It was in the winter, it was pretty hilly, but, you know, I was just proud of myself that I ran and finished. So I was just really excited that I finished the race. So, you know, for me, like, time was not an essential part of the race. It was just setting that goal and being able to cross the finish line, and I was really proud of myself. So, you know, if I ever ran another half marathon again, obviously I would want to cut my time down a little bit. But so then the last tip, number 5, is just to keep going and push yourself. I think what really this time around has helped me was just, I've done this weight loss journey and like fitness thing longer than I ever have before. Weight's always been an issue for me. So the difference was this time when I hit my goal weight, I made a new goal and I just kept going. So I think that's why I was able to keep the weight off and, you know, keep running. I never kind of just stopped when I got there. You know, times before when I was in college, I'd lose 20 pounds, feel amazing, be running, I'd hit my goal weight, and then I would just hit that goal weight and then I would stop, like thinking I would stay there, and I always gained the weight back. So this time it was just, I've made it a part of my lifestyle. This is how I live. I try and be as active as I can. And, you know, there's still days where I'm like, I don't really feel like running. I'm kind of sore. Or I just feel like, you know, you don't want to do anything. But that's the day that I'll maybe just take my daughter on a walk or we'll play outside. And I'm still getting active, but I'm not pushing myself to the point where I'm going to injure myself or just I get so sick of it that I want to stop. Because I'm very much, my personality is like I'm either 100% in or I'm like completely out. So it's like kind of all or nothing with me, but I think I've finally found like a nice even balance. So I think that's why this has worked for me. So just keep setting new goals for yourself, and when you feel like, and now that I'm like a year and a half into it, like I know that if I'm just feeling like lazy one day, and I'll try and push myself and I'll do different workouts. So even though I'm running, I'll try and sprint up the hills and then I will stop and walk. So it's not like I never walk. I still actually walk a lot, but I will kind of do more interval things. So whether that's running all down hills and then walking up hills or vice versa, just trying to switch it up a little bit to keep it interesting and different. Just to go over my tips again is, one is to find a pair of shoes that fit and comfortable workout clothes that you won't feel self-conscious in. 2 is to pick a music list, whether that be Pandora or your iTunes, or, you know, maybe you don't listen to music, but I think that's a really great motivating way to keep yourself on pace. Number 3 is to just start walking and basically get up and get out the door. Even though it's cold, I'm still running outside. I just lay her up and bundle my daughter up like a little cocoon in her stroller. And once you get going, it's really not that bad. And it's always good to get outside and get fresh air. It puts you in a much better mood, and I think no matter what you do, you'll be proud of yourself that you made the effort, whether you just walked, you know, or jogged. And then number 4 is to set goals for yourself, whether that be time, distance, or a race, and to then make a new goal once you achieve your goals. And number 5 is to then just keep going and push yourself. So make it part of your lifestyle and set a goal for yourself. Maybe you run 3 times a week, maybe you only run 2 times a week, and you do weight training and other things in between. Oh, the only other thing I wanted to tell you guys was just about the heart rate monitor. I did have a couple questions about that. I use the Polar, I think it's the FT40, and I purchased this off Amazon. And it's just this little watch you can wear, and then there's a strap that goes around your chest and it tracks your heart rate. And this is what I use to track my calories when I'm running or working out. So that's the only other thing I wanted to mention. I think that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!